Today it's a clash of two iron beasts. Well, more like a horse versus a wolverine. The BTR-4 Bucephalus. On the other, the Polish Rosomak APC. Under the hood of our Bucephalus sits a ZTD diesel engine. It's loud but compact. That allowed the engineers to shift the engine into the center and keep a full pass-through inside the vehicle. Now the driver can crawl back into the troop compartment without stepping out under incoming fire. Try pulling that off in the Rosomak. You won't. As for fuel appetite, on the highway, Bucephalus burns up to 100 liters per 100 kilometers. And off-road, that consumption can jump to 150 liters.
The main task of an APC is mobility, and Bucephalus is seriously strong in that regard. It's rated to reach up to 110 kilometers per hour on the highway, 60 kilometers per hour, across rough terrain, and around 10 kilometers per hour when crossing water obstacles.
Now let's look at the Rosomak. The engine here is Swedish classic engineering from Scania. Around 500 horsepower, but it's a 4-stroke engine. Bigger, heavier, but extremely durable and not nearly as loud. The Polish beast is a bit more fuel efficient on the move, about 80 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway. But in the mud, it's not shy either. It'll happily gulp down 130 plus liters. Yeah, it's a solid machine. Good, fast.
It can push 120, right? I mean, hitting 120 kilometers per hour, 75 miles per hour, in that thing must feel sketchy, yeah?
Hard to stop it. It's 2 tons after all. By a small margin, the Rosomak takes this round with its Swedish engine. So straightforward, it feels like you could fix it using a YouTube tutorial. Next, let's check the troop compartment. In the BTR-4, the engine sits in the middle, and troops dismount through rear double doors. Kind of like the doors on a Kiev Marshrutka minibus. That's a big deal if you remember old Soviet APCs, where troops had to jump out from the sides straight into enemy fire. In Bucephalus, it's done properly. Rear doors, so soldiers can dismount relatively safely, shielded by about 20 tons of steel.
The interior is quite spacious. You can take a look at the seats, these chairs. They can actually fold, it seems. And they do fold to increase the amount of space where up to 7 troops can be fitted as part of the personnel. Up front sits the gunner. You can observe him and his combat work directly. It's very roomy inside, that's worth noting. And there's a dedicated hatch. You can, in principle, evacuate in an emergency, either through the driver's position, through the commander's position, or just climb out through those rear doors.
In the Rosomak, the engine is up front and the troop compartment is modern, designed so that each soldier has an individual shock-absorbing seat. That's great for safety. But because of that, it's a bit cramped inside. Due to the high floor and design specifics, the Rosomak's exit is narrower, so troops file out in a single line, like a checkout queue at a supermarket. In combat, those seconds under fire can cost way too much.
This is the troop compartment of the Rosomak APC. There are 8 seats for soldiers here. They dismount through these doors. If something happens to the doors, if they jam or anything, there are also 2 hatches here. You can climb out through the top of the armored vehicle. This is how it opens, and the guys get out.
This round goes to the BTR-4. The exit here is designed so that troops in full gear don't have to suck in their guts just to get out fast. Time to move on to the main argument: firepower. The Ukrainian Bucephalus is equipped with the Perus combat module, and its heart is a powerful 30mm automatic cannon, the ZTM-1. Perus is a remotely operated weapons station. The gunner sits lower, inside the APC's hull, and if the turret takes a direct hit, yeah, it'll be, to put it mildly, unpleasant. But for the gunner, not fatal.
This is what the gunner's workstation looks like. And here's the gunner himself. Got lucky, by the way. Let's go quick on the turret. What do we have here? The main thing, the 30mm cannon.
There's a KBA-117 grenade launcher installed, an AGS-type equivalent, and a PKT 7.62 machine gun. Smoke launchers, 80mm ZD6 if I remember right.
Look, if you fire the 30mm with this and the machine gun from here, how do you launch the grenades?
Same controls. The 30mm, the grenades. And this button here is for the machine gun. The Polish Rosomak is armed with the Hitfist 30P turret, which works on a classic principle. That means the gunner sits directly inside the turret, giving him a better feel of the vehicle, but also adding a layer of dangerous exposure. However, the Rosomak's turret is fully adapted to NATO standards. That allows it to use the full range of NATO 30mm ammunition for maximum precision on target. Bushmaster chain gun, 200 rounds per minute.
Nice piece of kit, huh?
The gun is excellent. Fast. For me, inside the turret, it's quiet enough. Outside, not so much. It has 2 feed paths for ammunition. Here's one feed chute, and here's the other. So you can switch between them. Load HE rounds in one, armor piercing in the other.
So you can mix it up on the fly?
You can, no problem. That's actually an advantage. If one side is loaded with HE, you don't need to alternate every 5 rounds or whatever. You just switch feeds, and that's it. 2 types of ammo ready to go. The winner in the weapons showdown is the BTR-4. Despite the Rosomak's high accuracy and rate of fire, the Bucephalus's remote module lets the gunner engage while staying protected inside the hull. And for the Ukrainian military, crew safety is always priority number 1. So which of these beasts is tougher? The Rosomak's protection is built on multi-layer armor, where steel is reinforced with special ceramic panels to absorb impact energy. This composite structure lets the vehicle stay relatively light while maintaining extremely high survivability under fire.
The most protected part of this APC is the frontal section. It can withstand 14.5mm caliber hits, and the sides 7.62mm. That's according to the specs.
The BTR-4's hull is made from specially hardened steel, providing reliable all-around protection for the crew and troops in conditions of heavy fire. Its modular design allows additional armor panels to be mounted, significantly boosting survivability without sacrificing mobility.
The vehicle is armored. It's stated that the frontal projection should withstand a direct hit from 14.5mm rounds. The side here should handle 12.7mm.
If we're talking base configuration, the Rosomak takes the protection round. Its composite armor with ceramic inserts provides a high level of ballistic protection. That said, both vehicles have modular designs, meaning they can be seriously reinforced with additional armor packages depending on the mission. So, how easy is it to handle these beasts? Driving the Rosomak is about as easy as a modern car, thanks to its automatic transmission and 360-degree camera system displayed on monitors. But heavy reliance on electronics is a risk. After a near hit, those cameras can go dark, leaving the driver peering through tiny vision blocks.
Did you have any prior experience driving vehicles like this? You didn't serve before? No experience with any IFVs?
First time I ever saw it.
What was your profession before?
Tractor driver.
So it wasn't difficult for you?
Not difficult. Automatic there, automatic here. Same thing. Though, of course, the size takes getting used to. You mostly see the left side. The right side, not so much.
How do you get used to the size? Slalom driving? Parking? Parallel parking?
The BTR-4 gives the driver a unique advantage. Direct visibility through large armored windows, letting him see the road with his own eyes instead of relying entirely on cameras. And while the Bucephalus also has an automatic transmission, it still remains a harsh, no-nonsense military machine. The stiff suspension and specific control levers demand experience and strong hands to keep it under control.
Overall, as the commander, you sit right here, upright. In front of you is that same weird control for operating the weapons, and a monitor. You see exactly what the gunner sees down there.
But there's another little detail. You've got this too, I can show you. Besides seeing everything the gunner sees, you also have a panoramic sight. This thing here, you can spin it left and right. So if the gunner is locked on his target, I, as the commander, am scanning around, checking for drones. You're watching your sector. And basically, if you spot something that needs to be taken out, you hit target designation. It marks the point and slews the system onto it for him. This round goes to the Rosomak. It handles like a high-end SUV, smooth, predictable. Even if the electronics fail, Scania's ergonomics mean the driver gets less fatigued during long marches. The Rosomak's ability to swim depends critically on weight. Additional ceramic armor makes the vehicle too heavy for water operations. So to cross rivers, the Polish machine has to strip down, removing part of its protection. That's not a quick process, and it leaves the Rosomak pretty vulnerable during the crossing.
These two propellers on either side of the rear, that's the amphibious function. This APC can cross water obstacles. Here's the water line. This is how it sits in the water. And the speed in water is up to about 10 kilometers per hour, around 6 miles per hour, right up to this line.
Yeah. It submerges and floats well. The nose doesn't dip underwater. Up front, bow flaps lift up, additional fins are deployed. It basically turns into a boat. To sink it, you'd have to really try. Though like the Poles said, better not swim it. The BTR-4 is a true amphibian. Thanks to two powerful propellers at the rear, it confidently pushes through water obstacles. Its hull is designed to maintain stability on water without complex preparation. That allows the vehicle to begin a crossing with relatively minimal setup.
I want to point out, the transition into water crossing mode is pretty fast. We didn't spend a month prepping this machine. We rolled up, did some basic adjustments, and the APC you just saw tearing across land. It's now moving out onto the water.
The machine floats. That's good, because you plan for anything. But as far as swimming goes, you can trust this vehicle. We scared all the fish out of this area.
That's what's pushing it forward?
Propellers. Steering is done with the rudder, left, right, and you regulate the speed of the props.
Like a catamaran?
Yeah, like a catamaran, only even easier.
So what does it take to prep it for boat mode?
You seal up these parts with mastic. There are hatches underneath, some here, some up top. And you also attach special tubes so water doesn't get inside.
Those attachments we saw.
Yeah, those are the ones. So, the verdict. Both machines have their strengths and weaknesses. If you need a bold assault fist, something that can hit the enemy hard, relatively safely, and still swim across rivers fast, the BTR-4 is built for you. But if you value Western comfort and practicality, and want to fly over rough ground like a foreign car on an autobahn, then the Rosomak is your pick.